Okay, so I've just taken the throttle valve out, so get it out of the way. And then we're just going to undo these two crosshead screws which hold the float bowl on. You always want to loosen screws evenly. Don't like remove one screw with the other one still tight. You always want to loosen things all the way round, loosen screws and then remove them. Otherwise you run the risk of warping the flange and so on. That's on anything. Let's have a look. Yeah, even this is stuck together. I thought it might be. Ooh, yeah, that certainly needs cleaning up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's covered in some sort of white gunge. Well, it's not gunge, but it's sort of white powder. And then we've got the float. It won't come off without the so the gasket is preventing us from pulling the float out, because the gasket is holding the sort of the float spindle. It's underneath the gasket. And I don't really want to prise this off, but I might have to. Right, let's have a look. And you probably can't see, but in the bottom of there, it's again, it's not great. It's all furred up. It's the sort of whatever this white powder is. Yeah, it's in the bottom now. I'm going to have to take this gasket off. Just means I'll have to order a new gasket. No, oh no, there, it's coming off now. Like I say, you can normally get these off in one piece and reuse them, but you know, it's definitely, there we go. It's come away. It's come away in one piece, so we can happily reuse that. So now we can lift away the float and the float spindle and the float needle. There we go, in one, and the float needle will just come off the float there. Yeah, and you can probably see more, all that sort of yellowy sort of sand in there. But you can see, look, you can probably see how much is in the bottom there. Look, I'm just going to turn it out onto my hand. So that was what was sitting there. I don't know if you can see that, but all that yellowy sand, that was all was sitting in the bottom of the carb. So definitely needs clearing out this. Okay, so then I'm going to clean out the I'm going to take the jet, the main jet and the pilot jet off. Where are we? We are back on our Whitworth yet. Let's see if we can crack this. There we go. Okay, so Whitworth, and this holds the main jet and the jet needle at the other end. Right. So that's the main jet at the bottom. That's the needle jet at the top. Needle jet, because that's what the needle goes into. All right. And the main jet, because that's where the main fuel comes up, and when the bike's on full acceleration, so then that means the needle is fully out of the needle jet, then the flow is controlled just by the size of the main jet. But up till then, the flow is controlled to some extent by the needle jet. Okay, but when that's fully out, then that's why the main jet controls full throttle mixture. Okay, yeah, 150 main jets. I mean, you get an idea of how discolored that is, because on the left, that's what it should look like, that sort of brass, and that's what it does look like, that sort of powdery colour. Weird, I don't know what that is, just stale fuel. So we're just going to clean that out, and then we're just going to remove. I was just going to screw this in. Wow. I just wanted to see where this is the air screw, pilot air screw, which is normally set 1.5. This screw here, 1.5 turns out. That's your sort of standard setting. But it's actually, I've just screwed it in to see and it's at half a turn out. So I don't know about that. There's obviously something funny going on there. I'm just going to take it out and get it out of the way. Yeah, again, that's you might not be able to see, but that's got, again, quite a bit of, so I'm going to hold it in the right place. You know, that's not good, all that white powder around the tip. So what we're going to do is we're now going to get some carb cleaner, and we're going to blow it through, especially the pilot, all the pilot circuits in the carburetor, and clean it up. I think it's worth stating that really there are two carburettors in a carb, or at least two circuits. So there's a pilot circuit and there's the main circuit. The pilot circuit covers, controls the flow of fuel and air at tick over, and then the main circuit goes everything from tick over up to full throttle. So if your bike's not ticking over well or whatever, it's the pilot circuit, and there's a pilot circuit you tend to have the problems with because it's such a small, fine. The drillings are as thin as like a wire on a metal brush. They're really fine and they can block up easily. So you see all the crud we got in here. That's easily enough to block up the airways and fuelways inside the carburetor, which deal with the pilot circuit. And so it's the pilot circuit that gets blocked. So A, you can have very uneven tick over, and then B, it's that difficult transition from tick over to throttle. You get that, then it suddenly dies, you know, that terrible. You're at the lights and you open the throttle, and then you'll pull away. So that's why it's important to get that the pilot circuit right. A, so you've got even tick over, and B, so you've got that even transition from tick over to throttle, which can be so difficult to get. Right, so I'm going to get some carburetor cleaner spray, and I'm going to leave the throttle valves for now. We're just going to clean up the main carburetor bodies. I'm going to remove this drain plug if I can, because it's absolutely, you know, there's so much in there. Yeah. I'm just going to do it again. I just stirred round a bit, and again, look, that's what's come out. That's just sitting in the bottom of the float chamber. You know, that's why we need to clean these carbs out. Right, I'm going to have a little break, and then I'll get some carb cleaner and we'll start cleaning it all up, and then we'll do the throttle valve at the end. But it's look, it's so sticky. That look, I can almost, you know, it's trying to actually lift. I can almost pick up the throttle valve just by touching it because it's so sticky, which is definitely not right.